you've been doing a great job on the Inside PBC Boxing. I think, you've really done a very professional job with your broadcasting, but just wondering if you can talk about how you've balanced broadcasting and fighting, if, you've had problems straddling those two professions and, your focus going into this fight.
Yeah, you know what? I'm blessed because Fox Studios is just a rock throw away from Vegas, so I can get there in just an hour. I do my thing. I have workouts and routines set around the filming, and then I go right home after we film. So it really has not been a hard thing for me to balance at all. Even more blessed part about it is I know a majority of the guys. I've seen a majority of the fighters for a long, long time. If not as amateurs, I've known them as pros. So when it comes to things like being able to talk about these guys, even that part of it is not strenuous for me because I know a lot of these guys. I know their styles. I know what they do, what they bring to the ring. So usually for me, I'm just kind of shaping up on their statistics more than I am on who they are and who they bring to the ring, So it has not been a hard thing for me to balance, and I've enjoyed it very, very much to this point.
Okay, thanks a lot for your time today, Shawn. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, our next question is coming from Keith Idek, BoxingScene.com.
Hey, Shawn, I know a couple of weeks ago you mentioned that you were going to spar with Demetrius Andrade. I was just wondering if you had the opportunity to do that and how it went if you did.
We're still working on getting Boo Boo to Vegas. We tried to get him in D.C. He had some family conflicts going on, and now we're working on getting him into D.C. in the next day or two, getting him into Vegas in the next day or two so that we can get that last little bit of great work in. He's a tremendous athlete. We've used him time and time again when I fought southpaws and even when I fought orthodox fighters because he gives us such great work, and he's definitely a top competitor, and he makes it fun and enjoyable as well. So we do look forward to having him in Vegas and finishing up camp with him in the next couple of days.
Shawn, how much has it, Spence has said he's going to knock you out, and there are other people who have said that he's going to be the first person to do that. Has that surprised you or driven you at all? Because you've always shown such a great chin, and as you said, you have a lot of experience against bigger fighters in the amateurs, much bigger fighters than Spence, obviously.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised to hear him say he wants to knock me out. He's even said, I'm going to knock you out. I'm not surprised to hear him say that because I know his mentality. I know who he is as a person. He's very, very driven and competitive, and I get that. The part about it for me is I think he may be trying to psych himself out into thinking he can do it. I think I have a proven chin. I'll go on record for saying no fighter really wants to prove his chin. We never want to get hit, get hurt, anything like that. But I've taken some pretty good shots from some top guys out there, and I've managed to handle that and win and come out on top. So when it comes to Errol Spence, I don't look at his power any different than anyone else I've been in the ring with, and I'm going to go at him like I've gone at Keith Thurman, like I've gone at Danny Garcia, like I've gone at Yevhen Zupas, Devin Alexander. The list goes on from there.
Shawn, he said that you were a dirty fighter, obviously, in one of those Fox shows. Did that bother you, or what was your opinion of that?
No, it doesn't bother me. I think that's his perspective. I think that may have been, looking at film of me, he may be pulling on some things that he can take advantage of, and he may think that, my roughness, he's misconstruing that for dirtiness. If he can't handle the roughness, then you will find out real soon. And if that's what's working for us, well, then that's what we'll do. We'll be rough, we'll be hard, we'll be rugged, we'll keep the pressure on him, and we all know pressure busts pipe.
Shawn, do you think it's a psychological advantage for you a little bit that he's thinking about that and that he's mentioning this? Do you think that's in his head a little bit, or how do you view that?
At this point, I do. I think that there's more than just that that's in his mind when it comes to fighting me. I think he knows he's up against a lot. I think that those certain things that he's trying to be aware of or make the referee aware of. I think that's a mistake on his behalf. I think he may be looking at those things and overlooking other things like my skill and my talent and my speed and my quickness and my boxing ability, So I think that, I think he's in trouble, and I think it's only a matter of time before the world finds out.
Thanks for your time, Shawn.
You got it. Thank you.
Our next question is coming from Carlos Toro of Fightful.com.
Hey, Shawn, how are you doing? Thanks for being on this call.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Your last fight against Yordenis Ugas was a really close one, and Errol Spence Jr. kind of carries a completely different style. He's, from a skill set standpoint, from a resume standpoint, from just about almost every angle you look at it. And when you look at Errol's style, how do you see that varying against your style compared to when you fought Ugas? Do you see yourself having an easier or harder time dealing with Errol compared to Ugas?
No comparison. I think styles make fights. I think, you said it yourself, they're two completely different styles. I think that they both have, in Dennis's case, had things that present problems for anyone that are in the ring. I think for me, my speed and my quickness against Errol Spence is definitely going to be superior. I think my foot movement is going to be superior, and I think that it's going to open up a lot more opportunities. I think that Dennis in the ring with me, he was a little confused. He was expecting me to have a different style than I came to him with, and I think that really shook him up. So a lot to say. I'm expecting to shake up Errol Spence.
One of the things I remember when we spoke a couple of months ago was that you wanted to have a pay-per-view main event, on your resume. And so now that you got that, especially in a title unification, how does it feel being on this type of unique platform that so few fighters have had the opportunity to headline a pay-per-view?
It's been a lot of fun. It definitely has been an eye-opener as well. Someone just sent me a picture telling me that the fights were going to be shown in theaters, and I already knew that, but, to actually see it and, have a preview of yourself at the movie theater is pretty cool. I'm at the theaters every other week, so I'm going to do the best I can to sell the fight and let people know that they can go watch it at their local theater, and I think that that's awesome. It's been a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to Fight Week. I hope it gets even funner and gets more exciting. I know funner is not a word, but I hope it gets even more exciting. Fight Week. It's something that I've been looking forward to.
And last question. Given that the winner will have 2 of the 4 world titles from the sanctioning bodies, do you see this fight as the winner should be considered the number 1 welterweight in the world?
You know what? I do. I think that I and myself and Errol Spence are the number 1 and number 2 guys. You call who you want to be number 1 and number 2, but the best part about it is one is about to fight 2, and one is about to get eliminated. I think that after I beat Errol Spence, especially the way I beat Errol Spence, I think that this will key me as the number 1 guy in the division.